one last hurrah. Hello guys, it's LR Turbo 51 over here. I hope you're having a splendid day wherever you are in the world. And guys, yes, your eyes do not deceive you. Today it is our farewell video to F1 2019. By far the most successful game on my YouTube channel to date, and a game that I hold very close to my heart. Now guys, in today's farewell video, I'm gonna drive on, I think, the most underrated track on the F1 calendar. We are heading towards the Le Castellet circuit in France, where we're just gonna do some time lapse, and guys, we're just gonna talk a bit. We're gonna talk a bit, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, so guys, I'm gonna take, I wouldn't say all my most favorite cars, but mostly my favorite cars and just a few cars that I really wanted to give a go before F1 2019 says its final goodbye. Now guys, the first thing I'm going to jump into today is the F2 car that we did our 2018 Formula 2 Championship with. Please make sure to go follow this series from the first episode. It is in the playlist section, and I will drop a link in the description up top for my 2018 F2 season. We drove as Lando Norris, and we are going to finish off F1 2019 by giving Norris's F2 car one last hurrah. Now guys, like I said before I went into what I'm driving, the first thing we're going to talk about in this video is for you to drop a like down below. You know you want to. You know you want to. No guys, but please drop a like down below on the video. It's only going to take you 2 seconds. Guys, update. I would have gotten the F1 2019 game this Friday. Now today, it is Thursday, the 9th of July. Now, I would have originally gotten the game on the initial release date, which was the 10th of July. But thanks to me living in South Africa, we have got a lot of problems with our imports and deports, especially with this whole coronavirus thing. Coronavirus going on around the world. Imports and outports, or well, imports and deports. How do you name it? Let's just go for the safety word for this. You guys know, my brain's playing chess, my mouth's playing F1. So you know, they're not at the same pace. Let's go with the safe one and say imports and deports, okay? Now, the F1 game obviously has to be imported from Cody's overseas, and it's gonna take a little while. So while all the big F1 YouTubers, like I'm looking at Aravan, TMX Modded, TRL Limitless, Tom97, and the list goes on! Lucky son of a guns. Sons of guns. My English today is atrocious. Guys, please, you're gonna hear a lot of grammar mistakes today. For that, drop a like down below. But all those guys that get this game early, the lucky ducks, they are able to push out their content and go absolutely crazy, while I'm still waiting with a very sad heart for mine to come. But the new date that I've gotten is the 14th of July. That is next week, Tuesday, that I will be getting my copy of F1 2020. Now, that's why this farewell video has taken a bit longer. Because I didn't want to post a video and then there was going to be a few days with no F1 content. But unfortunately now, I'm going to be forced to do that. Now guys, I am busy recording Dirt 4 and Project Cars 2 content. Project Cars 2, I'm a little bit frustrated at the moment, but you guys will hear about that in the videos of Project Cars 2. But what I can assure you guys is as soon as F1 2020 drops, that very Tuesday, you guys will be getting your first video, even if it means I have to pull an all-nighter to edit my first videos. I will do so, because I'm going to get you guys the content as early and as quickly as possible. So until next week Tuesday, be ready to see some Dirt 4 and Project Cars 2 content, probably about 2-3 videos each. But even if, say I've made 6 Dirt 4 videos, as soon as F1 2020 drops, I'm gonna put a quick stop on the Dirt 4 and Project Cars 2 content, and you guys will immediately be getting F1 2020 content. That is, in any case, the main game on the channel, the F1 game. Also, guys, for those of you guys that have been wondering, I am working on with the boys on some future Motorsport Lounge episodes, especially now that the F1 2020 season, the real life season, has actually started, and a bunch of other stuff. So please be on the lookout for that as well. In this video, I will be leaving the links and descriptions links in the description for all my series on this game and everything that goes on the channel. So you guys can please go check it out. So yeah, guys, the first car we drove obviously was the 2018 F2 Dallara, Lando Norris's car with its specific livery. Now we're jumping into the 1979 Ferrari. I think it's I can't remember exactly which Ferrari it was, but that's one of my favorite vintage cars to drive. Now we're jumping into the 2019 BWT Arden Formula 2 Dallara, which was driven by the late great Antoine Hubert. You guys know I dedicated an entire season to Antoine Hubert. That is probably and I know this is going to sound a little bit, I would say a little bit, not deceptive, but it's going to sound a little bit downgrading towards my F1 2020 career mode. Oh, 2020. See, guys, my brain's on F1 2020. And guys, just one thing. I have to stop myself from watching other content creators posting about F1 2020. I haven't watched one video so far as if the game's release, well, early access release. I've just watched the teasers of gameplay that Codemasters released. Haven't watched anything else yet because I don't want to spoil it for myself. But in any case, guys, back to the story. My 2019 Formula 2 season driving as Antoine Hubert is probably the series I'm most proud of. I just think I really feel that you can see my passion within those videos, and just that the passing of Antoine Hubert middle last year really hit me harder than I thought it would. It's been more than a year now since the passing of Antoine, and I really put my everything into the F2 2019 season, series that I did. So please, guys, go, if you haven't checked out that series, please go give it some love. It's an absolutely epic series, me driving as Antoine Hubert and fighting for the 2019 Formula 2 World Championship. It's really, there are a few really standout races in that series, especially I'd say from France going onwards. There's a few really standout performances, which was absolutely fantastic. I feel that there's a lot of progress that can be made with the Formula 2 cars on the F1 game, but for the first installment with them being in the game, Cody's, you guys hit it out of the park. Well freaking done it. Now, guys, I actually went for the second lap because I didn't feel my first lap was very quick, and then I invalidated and also did this. Watch out for the barriers! Ouch! Yep, yeah, so that's when I knew, okay, it's time to call it quits. But now, guys, the car we're heading towards is Ayrton Senna's 1988 McLaren MP4/4. Guys, this is an absolutely astonishing car to drive. Also one of the hardest cars to drive on F1 2019. And it's due to one reason. Massive amounts of turbo lag, and when the turbo decides, oh, I actually have to work, it's like literally everything is there. There is nothing like holding back. I finally understand why a lot of Formula 1 enthusiasts, especially older Formula 1 enthusiasts, say that the cars that Ayrton Senna drove were the most bonkers and crazy cars in Formula 1 history. Now, guys, with this car, my onboard lap I'm going to show again. So you guys are watching the replay lap. It's exactly the same lap, but after this we're going to go onto the onboard. And you guys are going to see some turns, some corners turns. Oh my word, guys, please excuse my English today. Please just drop a like on the video as a prayer to me to get my English sorted out. But in any case, you guys are going to see on the onboard, I have to be so delicate with this car, and you guys are gonna realize that the turbo lag is quite immense. So this lap, not the best lap to the closest extent. This is actually a very crappy lap, I'm gonna be honest. But the driving experience that this car has, I just wish the F1 game had VR, because I think this car in VR would be absolutely astonishing. But this car is a beast, and it keeps you on your toes. So I'm gonna keep quiet. You guys can enjoy an onboard lap of Ayrton Senna's 1988 McLaren. what an absolutely bonkers experience. Guys, I love that car, and I hope that the car is within F1 2020 because I would really like to drive that car again. It's an absolutely awesome car to drive, and I wouldn't mind driving that car again. I would like to get a little bit better with that car because I really feel it's a massively underrated and underused car within the F1 game. Guys, the next car we are jumping into, the four manufacturers, if I can put it that way. We've got Renault, Ferrari, Red Bull, and Mercedes. Now, the reason we're going to drive the Red Bull, guys, is because it's the quickest car with the Honda engine in the back. So I wanted you guys to being able to hear the difference between the Renault, the Ferrari, the Honda, and the Mercedes engines. And the F1, as far as I've heard, not seen well, as far as I've heard from people speaking, not heard the engines myself, but as far as I've heard the rumors, it sounds like Codemasters have even improved the engine sound that these cars make in F1 2020. So guys, after this, I'm gonna keep quiet a bit so you guys can hear, especially on board, the difference between the four different engine manufacturers on the F1 game. It is absolutely amazing how even at this very massive stage of motorsport that you can still hear the differences. It is absolutely awesome. So it's time for me to keep my mouth shut. Now, I don't know about you guys, but the Renaults actually do not sound bad. If I have to give my honest opinion about all the cars I've driven, on board, the Renault is the car with the sound I like the least. The car with the sound that I like the most has got to be the Honda. The Honda sound amazing. But guys, we jump back into the vintage cars. You guys, obviously, you're going to remember the Renault sound. And as we move on, I think the next car I drive is the Red Bull, if I'm not mistaken, or the Ferrari. It's one of those two. But then you guys can hear. You guys know the sound of the Ferrari engines a lot, thanks to me being in Haas for 2 seasons in my career mode. But the Ferrari engine, it also doesn't sound too bad at all. Now guys, so getting on further into this video, you guys can see I'm really just enjoying myself going around the Le Castellet circuit in France. And the reason I only chose to do this one circuit was because, like I said in the beginning of the video, I really feel this is a massively underrated and underused track. This track deserves a lot more love. It's a fantastic racing facility, and I know everybody in the comments are going to be like, but we haven't had a good race here in real life yet. Guys, give it time. We're going to have a good race here eventually. It's not our fault Mercedes are always dominant around this track. 1 year will be 1 year, and then we're gonna have a proper race, I'm gonna tell you that. But guys, on the game, I mean, if you guys have been following my career mode, every single season, the race at France is an absolute headliner. I mean, Season 3, let's look at Season 3. For those of you guys that haven't watched the season, click off the video now because lots of spoilers incoming! That was a big moment. But lots of spoilers incoming. So really look back. Season 3 of F1 2019, driving for McLaren. Probably the best race of the season. Well, not the best race of the season, but one of the best. It's definitely within the top 5, maybe within the top 3. Season 2, I think it was like a 40-minute video, and you guys know my rule. The longer the video, the better the action, the better the racing. So it was quite intense. And in Season 1, I can remember there was an immense battle between myself and Lucas Weber. I think for something like P5 or P6. And it ended up with me and Lucas having a astronomical crash. Me basically ruining Lucas Weber's race because we pushed a little bit too hard. And it's just the French Grand Prix, in my opinion, on the game is one of the best tracks to have a race on. It is absolutely fantastic. It does separate the pros from the noobs. Hashtag me a noob. This track really lends itself to good racing action. But once again, guys, it's time for me to keep my mouth shut and listen to the beautiful Ferrari, the 2019 Ferrari car driven by Charles Leclerc and Sebastian Vettel. Guys, what an absolutely fantastic car. Clearly, now that the first F1 Grand Prix has passed, the 2020 Ferrari is not what the 2019 Ferrari was. And when you look at real life, the 2019 Ferrari was not the best car that Ferrari has ever built. But I'm still a Ferrari fan. I will always make sure Ferrari is my favorite team. I love Ferrari. I've loved Ferrari basically since the day I've started watching F1. I was a massive Michael Schumacher fan. I was a massive Kimi Raikkonen fan at a stage. I'm a massive Felipe Massa fan, Rubens Barrichello, you name them. I mean, my hero, Fernando Alonso, drove for Ferrari. Ferrari is, when you think about Formula One, you think about Ferrari. I mean, that's just a given. If I'm talking about people that are not, I would say, F1 fans. When you say Formula One, the first thing people usually tell you is, oh, that's the sport where Ferrari drives, right? Like, Ferrari drives in there. Like, I mean, you see and hear F1, you think Ferrari. Ferrari, to me, I wouldn't say they are F1, but they are a big part of F1. And I think if there ever comes the day that Ferrari is not in Formula One, it would be a massively sad day, and I will probably weep myself to sleep. But in any case, guys, jumping into my hero's second World Championship car, Fernando Alonso's 2006 Renault R26, an absolutely fantastic car. The first year where the Formula One cars had V8s. As you guys can obviously hear in the background, the car sounds magnifical. These were significantly slower than the 2005 V10s. I mean, obviously with the V10 engines, they reached the pinnacle of the V10s, and those engines were immensely powerful, semi-reliable, but very, very, very quick. So, yeah, this is where basically the aerodynamic era started. Less power, quicker corners, you know, that whole type of thing. But guys, for the next car, let's jump straight into one of the best sounding cars ever built. What an absolutely fantastic car. The 2004 Ferrari F2004, which palmed in Michael Schumacher's final and 7th Formula One World Championship. Now guys, I'm also not going to talk long because it's time to listen to the 2019 Honda-powered Red Bull. Oh, guys, this is a team I want to revisit in F1 2020. I had such a good time with Toro Rosso in F1 2018, and I've never driven for the full Red Bull team before. But I'm not going to lie to you guys, I've got a very interesting idea for my F1 2020 career mode, but it's time for me to keep quiet. Please enjoy. Oh, guys, the offboard of this Honda sounds freaking fantastic. Guys, I love the grumble of the Honda engine. If you guys have even heard the Honda in real life, I mean, like, if you haven't watched this past weekend's 2020 Austrian Grand Prix, you're living under a rock. There's something wrong with your brain. But in any case, guys, Verstappen and Albon's Red Bulls sound so good on board. When that engine goes into that little bit of a growl at lower RPM, it is something. It's a beautiful sound. There's not many things that sing that beautiful. And guys, no singer will ever be able to mimic the sound of a car with their voice. Not mimic, will ever be able to match the beauty of a car's engine sound, because cars just sound 20 times better. I'm probably just gonna be people that I love seeing being in the comments like, you liar, people who sing are not talented. I'm not gonna lie, I'm probably gonna enjoy the bickering, but that's just a joke, so don't take it personally, okay? Do not take it personally. Don't do it. Don't you dare. But guys, now we're jumping into probably one of the most beautiful Formula 1 cars ever built, the 2010 McLaren, with the Vodafone McLaren Mercedes sponsor still on it, the Vodafone and McLaren Mercedes. Well, I know Mercedes provided the engines. It's just, I can remember these cars' names were the Vodafone McLaren Mercedes F1 team. So Vodafone were their main sponsor, Mercedes was a big sponsor thanks to the engine. McLaren built the car, and as they always did, beautiful chassis, absolutely astonishing aerodynamics. These cars were fantastic, and this is where we started nearing the end of the V8. V8, I wouldn't call it V8 hybrid because they had curves, but that doesn't make them a hybrid, does it? No, but we were ending the V8 era. V8s ran until 2013, so this was the fourth to last year of the V8s. And guys, the V8s, look, they're not near the V10s when it comes to pure ear candy. But oh my great goodness, were they wonderful. Especially in their final few years, these engines that just came together beautifully. And this is one of my favorite vintage cars to drive on this year's game. Hands on, I love the 2010 cars, but I have to say the McLaren is my favorite to drive. Then I would say the Ferrari, and the Red Bull is my least favorite. But guys, now we're jumping into my favorite vintage car of them all, the 2003 Williams FW25, which you guys have seen quite a fair few times on the channel with this year's installment of the excuse that little hiccup. With this year's installment of the F1 game. And guys, just this car, V10, my favorite car company of all time, BMW building the engine, and just being a solid car. Williams challenged a few times for say good quality positions and a few race wins in 2003. I'm not sure if they got any. I actually have to go check my statistics, which I'm not completely sure of. But this was a competitive car in an era where Ferrari were unbeatable. They were worse than Mercedes are now. Seriously. Ferrari were in a class of their own, and this team, Williams and Renault, were the only people that had a little bit of an answer for them, and it was just absolutely phenomenal. We have already listened to a V10 car, so I'm not going to keep quiet with this lap, but I just absolutely love this car. It's a fantastic car, and I always have a smile on my face after I've driven this car, even while I'm driving. I sit with one big cringy smile. I'm like, beautiful, screaming engine, blue, white, BMW, beautiful lights on the steering wheel. Oh, the pretty lights. You guys catch my GIF? So yeah. But guys, as we head towards the end of this lap, one teaser that I promised you guys at the end of our F1 2019 career mode series was that I would show you guys what would happen in season 4 if we ever were to race in season 4. Now, we are not going to, unfortunately, but guys, season 4 would have been absolutely phenomonal. So, we end off all the time trials, and now, oh no, we do not, we jump in to, even though I don't like saying it, but it's true, the fastest and probably one of the best Formula 1 cars ever built, the 2019 Mercedes AMG Petronas W07, what was it? I can't remember, I honestly can't remember, but the Mercedes AMG Petronas F1 race car. Guys, one thing that you realize when you drive the game, now obviously the game and reality are still big ways apart. I mean, this is still a video game, but you can actually realize why this car is such a dominant an absolutely stupidly quick car when you drive this car in the game. It sticks to every single track that there is. It flows like the perfect swan song. This car is just so freaking good. And one thing that I have to say, even though I'm tired of seeing Mercedes win, GG's Mercedes, you guys just know how to build a Formula 1 car. Toto Wolff, Lewis Hamilton, Valtteri Bottas, and the entire team back at Mercedes, well freaking done. This is a work of art. And guys, by the way, I can't wait till Codemasters bring out the update to make the 2020 Mercedes pitch black. For those of you guys that don't know, once again, if you've been living under a rock, the 2020 Mercedes, due to this whole Black Lives Matter movement in the world, the 2020 Mercedes is completely black. And it looks amazing! So, keep an eye out for that, because I will be making a video on that, just because the car will look absolutely sexy. So yeah, guys, to the end of the time trials. We even better our time, and I think we go a certain place in the world. It's not very high. Yeah, 830th in the world.
I hope you kept yourself fighting fit. We've got another tough season ahead of us.
Emma, we do not have another tough season ahead of us. But guys, let's quickly see what craziness Season 4 would have held. Like you guys saw at the end of our Season 3 finale, we did sign for Ferrari after we completely schooled Ferrari in the deal we made with them at the end of Season 2. So, we would have been at Ferrari. And basically, I'm not going to give anything away, but guys, this is a little bit of a hint towards my F1 2020 career mode. Just saying. We had a lot of research and development points left, over 3,310 points. We would have been able to upgrade this car like mad. But guys, look at the driver moves. Leclerc has been moved to McLaren to replace me, so he got my Season 3 World Championship winning car. Hamilton has moved to McLaren to replace my former Formula 2 rival Devon Butler. Hamilton and Leclerc in the same team. Oh my goodness, my brain! Why do I want to race this season so bad? Bottas has moved to Red Bull, replacing Gasly. Myself has moved to Ferrari, replacing Leclerc. Hulkenberg has been signed to Mercedes-AMG Petronas Racing, replacing Hamilton. Gasly is moving to Mercedes, replacing Bottas. So you've got Hulkenberg and Gasly in the Mercedes. I think that would have been a very interesting mix. And I didn't even see Butler. But I think Butler has gone back to Renault. Yeah, I think he's gone back to Renault, where he started his F1 career. How ironic is that? Butler started on my game his F1 2019 career about at Renault. Halfway through the season, ditched Renault for McLaren, got given a championship, championship winning car. Guys, my English is terrible. I apologize sincerely for my terrible English this whole episode. But in Season 3, when I was his teammate, he was, at the end of the season, given a car that was championship winning capable. And now he's decided, you know what, I'm going to give it to probably two of the strongest AIs in the game. Here you go, Hamilton and Leclerc. I'm going back to where I started, at Renault. What? It's just absolutely nuts. It's absolutely nuts. I'm sure you guys saw on the performance index, Ferrari is the second quickest engine. In aero, we've got a long way to go, as well as in the chassis. Red Bull are the fastest. We and Ferrari are P2, Mercedes P3, McLaren P4, Renault P5, Haas P6, and then the rest of the grid. Let's see. Racing Point P7, Alfa Romeo P8, Toro Rosso P9, and Williams are now, like at the beginning of the game, the worst team on the grid. That poor team just can't win, guys. Guys, Racing Point have fallen completely to nowhere. McLaren as well. Hopefully Hamilton and Leclerc can work wonders for McLaren. I wish I could have seen them. Guys, remember, Lewis Hamilton in real life started his career with McLaren. So he decided, okay, I'm going from McLaren to Mercedes. I'm going back to McLaren after they completely whipped me in a season. Oh, I wanted to play Season 4. Oh my goodness. This shows you guys we need to do more seasons in a game. So, guys, the F1 2018, we did 2 career mode seasons. F1 2019, we did 3 career mode seasons. For F1 2020, I'm going to try and do 4, as well as my team. So we're going to do 8 seasons. I don't know where I'm gonna get the time. I don't know where I'm gonna get the resources or the minimal amounts of sleep, but we're gonna do it. So that's the goal, guys, and you guys can actually come back to this video if I don't hold my promise. 4 career mode seasons, 4 my team seasons. Guys, F1 2020 is gonna be absolutely stupendous. But guys, that has been it from me. That has been F1 2019. Guys, please drop in the comments down below a thank you to this game. This has been by far my most successful game on the channel, and it's gonna be hard for me to let it go, just like last year with F1 2018. It's gonna pain my heart, but we have to let her go. And I'm saying it now, F1 2019 has been the best game Codemasters have ever made. Hashtag preach it, Codies. But guys, that has been this video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening to my cringy voice till now. Please drop a like down below on the video if you haven't done it yet. It's only going to take you 2 seconds. The likes, I appreciate it so much. Follow me on social media, Twitter and Instagram. Share this video with your friends. Tag me in the post or the story, and I will give you a shout out in a future video. And finally, if you haven't done it yet, what are you doing? Hit the subscribe down below. Don't forget to ding that bell to never miss a future episode of F1 2020, Dirt 4, and Project Cars 2. You guys have been amazing. I'll see y'all next time. Cheers!